Hello Fantasy Faithfuls and welcome to Scheme Fit Season 3, Episode 8. Today I will be looking at Mark Ingram and the Baltimore Ravens. So take a break from the draft and get ready to fall in love with Ingram all over again. Mark Ingram is a different cat when it comes to carrying the ball. The Saints have mainly used him to carry the rock outside the guards over anything. The average carries up the middle for the league is 30%. Ingram has 15%. This is extremely important as it will be used to different type of runs than an average running back would, and we want to match this with the lanes he's most comfortable in for the Ravens. Looking at his productivity, he's above league average on runs outside the ends by half a yard, which is great. Productivity in these lanes is key for fantasy points. He is way above league average up the middle and outside the right tackle and outside the right guard where he runs most of his runs. The only lane where he's well below is outside the left tackle, so we don't want too much focus there from the Ravens. When it comes to catching passes, Ingram is well above league average over the middle and to the left and slight below to the right. So he can be used to both carry the ball but also help Lamar Jackson as a trusted target. Furthermore, he's decent at getting yards in the passing game. Sure, he's below the average over the middle, but the right side is popping with 3 yards per catch above the league average. And Ingram is used to carrying the ball 13 times a game for the Saints. Lastly, he's used to being targeted 3.6 times a game. And speaking of targeting running backs, let us now focus on Lamar Jackson for a second. Jackson targeted running backs 3.6 times per game in 2018. This led to 18.4 receiving yards per game, and with that, he had the lowest yards production on a per game basis for any quarterback. Jackson targeted running backs mostly over the middle and to the right side. Ingram had his worst catch rate to the right, but his yards per catch was great here, but he struggled at getting yards over the middle. The running backs' yards per catch on these throws were very good in Baltimore. All zones are above league average, so this can at least help boost Ingram's receiving numbers. But overall, since all running backs were targeted so seldom, I fear this won't happen. There just isn't enough volume for a passing game to be successful for fantasy. We now have to look at John Harbaugh to further figure out how Ingram will be used. Harbaugh has traditionally called running plays on 52% of first downs, 42% on second, and 23% on third. That is 1% more run calls on first, league average on second, and 2 above on third, so plenty of carries to be had. And running backs that have played under him over the last 3 years have finished 39th, 16th, and 24th in 2016. So no clear-cut number 1 finish, but strong numbers if you combine the number 1 and 2 guy. One downside is that the number 1 back has only had over 200 carries one of the last 3 years, and that is part of running backs not finishing higher at the end of the year in fantasy. However, here comes the best part. The play calling has been centered around runs outside the guards in the B gap, with the fewest attempts outside the left tackle, also known as Ingram's worst lane. This play calling is perfect for Ingram. He will have plenty of runs in the B gap where he's super productive and comfortable, not too much up the middle, and some more outside the ends where he was lacking carries but a really strong yards per carry. And this is not all. When we look at the offensive line, we have an offensive line ranked as the 9th best in the league in run blocking in 2018. And the combined rushing effort of the team landed them as the 12th best rushing team in the league last year for running backs and 2nd for quarterbacks. So there's great talent up front. Furthermore, they can block for any type of run. There's no real run blocking weakness on this line. We can find strength, for instance, outside the ends, which to me starts to look like key lanes for Ingram in 2019. Up the middle and the right guard lane is juicy with 5.0 yards per carry. All in all, great fit for Ingram, and I'm super hype about this. Breaking down their red zone trends, Mark Ingram only had 26% of the Saints' red zone carries in 2018 and 45% in 2017. Alex Collins had 22% of red zone carries in Baltimore last year, and he's gone now. Ingram had a success rate of 21% carrying the ball in the red zone and 21% inside the 10. Ravens running backs had a success rate of 26% in the red zone and 37% inside the 10. With the departure of Alex Collins, there's plenty of red zone carries to be had in Baltimore for Ingram, and with the Ravens having a higher success rate in both the red zone and inside the 10, I feel comfortable that Ingram's red zone numbers will go up from last year to at least 8 touchdowns compared to his 6 in 2018. I would like to take a second to remind you to hit that like button, leave a comment what you think about this video, and subscribe to the channel. I love every interaction I have with y'all, and every little bit helps me put out even more content. As we always do with the conclusion, let's look at their synergies and their bad fits. The first synergy is the right guard. Ingram's most used lane, Harbaugh's most called lane, and great production from Ingram himself with great run blocking from the O-line. This is a fantastic synergy. The left guard, tons of runs here, and with improved run blocking in the lane, Ingram can excel. That's good synergy. Up the middle, it will be more runs here than what Ingram is used to, but his yards per carry combined with defensive line productivity is a great synergy. Red zone, there's opportunity to be had here with high success rate coming from the Ravens. I just see positives for Ingram. Runs outside the ends, this is where the Ravens offensive line blocks the best and Ingram gains tons of yards. Add that Harbaugh calls a lot of runs here, and I love this fit. The negative ones are that Lamar Jackson will steal carries away from the running backs, which will impact the workload. There are plenty of running back talent still left on the team with Gus Edwards and Kenneth Dixon to take some of the carries away from Ingram. And lastly, we have the passing game. They don't throw too many passes to running backs, so I don't expect too much in this regard. In conclusion, I love this fit. When I saw that Mark Ingram, who has been used in the B gap so much, went to the Ravens, I instantly got hyped. There's only one team that has a B gap focus, and that is the Baltimore Ravens, and only 1 to 3 running backs outside their team that has the skill set. So I could not be happier if I can get Ingram on my team for 2019. What could make you happier is keeping your eyes on CSTFantasy.com for more fantasy content, especially in late May when the Fantasy Snapshot bundle drops with over 150 video breakdowns of players for 2019. Thank you so much for being part of the Fantasy Faithfuls, and I'll see you again next week. Hello Fantasy Faithful, I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to check out more of them right here and here. In case you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a beat.